Today on DC News Now.
Pay extra attention. Starting today, drivers caught blocking bus zones in the district will be fined $100. How it all works next.
After a cold start, a midweek warm-up is on the way. We're tracking temperatures. Are playoff hopes fading?
The schedule toughens after this week.
What's next for the Washington Commanders?
This is a game changer.
Then a major breakthrough in cancer research.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Mark Hall. Starting today, drivers could be getting a $100 fine if they're parking, standing, or stopping in a bus zone. It's the first phase of the district's plan to improve bus safety and travel times. DC News Now's Tosin Fakile is in Columbia Heights explaining how this works.
According to DDOT, bus zones are areas along the curb within 80 feet approaching a bus stop flag and 20 feet leaving a bus stop flag. And today is D-Day. If you are caught illegally parked or blocking a bus zone, you will be short $100. This is part of DC's Clear Lane program, a combined effort between WMATA and DDOT. The goal is to improve bus travel times and bus stop safety by using cameras mounted on buses going to select routes in DC to identify drivers illegally parked and stopped in bus zones. WMATA says the cameras on the buses will take a picture of the unauthorized car in bus zones, and it's sent to DDOT to issue citations through the mail. And DC leaders support the move to fine drivers who impede buses. There was a warning period of 45 days after the program was announced. DDOT tells DC News Now bus stop violations made up almost 80% of the warnings issued.
It should be double.
Inconvenience for everyone that's getting on the bus, inconvenience for everyone that's getting off the bus. Sure, it's a good thing. That way they'll start having more respect for that bus zone.
To give you an idea of just how much of an issue it is, DDOT says in a 30-day demonstration period, there were 60 violations per day per bus. Now, when it comes to bus lanes, they're soon expecting to start fining drivers who block bus lanes. DDOT just hasn't announced when that will start. For now, we're in Columbia Heights. I'm Tosin Fakile for DC News Now. Back to you.
Tosin, thank you. Staying in the district, firefighters put out smoke and flames this morning in Georgetown on R Street. Firefighters say that a tree and a woodpile caught fire that spread to a nearby garage. No injuries were reported. What started the fire remains under investigation. All right, so what's the weather like this afternoon? Meteorologist Scott Sumner is in for Damon Metz, and he joins us now with the latest check on the forecast. And again, Scott, another seasonable day, right?
Absolutely, Mark. Nothing kind of ho-ho in the afternoon for us here across the region, as we have pretty much seasonable temperatures, upper 50s, lower 60s for daytime highs. And as you can see with our cloud coverage, it's going to vary. Right now, or at least this hour, the Weather Service has said mostly cloudy here, as the current temperature is 56 degrees in D.C., but these clouds will break up throughout the day, so each passing hour could be slightly different. I'm saying variably cloudy because we're seeing a little bit more sunshine up towards the north, as our cloud coverage shows. Again, once you get to Martinsburg, Hagerstown, Westminster, even Frederick, that's where you're seeing a little bit more in the way of sunshine as opposed to cloud coverage. But needless to say, none of these clouds here pose a threat for rain. And I say threat, we really do need it. I don't belittle the fact that we do need some rain in here, and that rain, well, eventually will come, but it'll be about another 48 hours before that occurs, as rain chances here are nil for today and the same for Thursday. Eventually we get into some rain on Friday and into early Saturday before clearing for the back half of the weekend here and going into next week. We have another opportunity of seeing some rain here just before Thanksgiving. Our biking forecast for today, if you're planning on going out, again, beautiful weather like it has been over the last couple of days. 60s and possibly getting up to around 70 degrees, variably cloudy skies, some clouds, winds south at 5 to 8 miles an hour. And for the headlines here, we're looking at seasonable temperatures, a warming up late week, scattered showers late Friday, and a cool down this weekend. We'll break it all down with that 7-day forecast coming up. Mark?
Hey, Scott, thank you. In Virginia, Alexandria police identified the man who was killed during a stabbing over the weekend in Alexandria. His name is 38-year-old Emmanuel Nagatu, and it happened on the 2700 block of DeWitt Avenue on Sunday. Police did say that they have a suspect in custody. However, they did not release the suspect's name. Well, D.C. Police will be rolling out a new communications system this month. It's designed to help the public keep up with active cases. D.C. News Now's Lex Juarez is at police headquarters with more.
If you call 911 and report a crime in the district, you will notice this new technology immediately. And on top of that, you'll also be better informed of where that case stands up until an arrest is made. It's called Specialized Police Intelligence and Data Resource, or SPIDER for short. This is a fully automated system that will send callers messages with the most important information about their case. 3 messages will come in for the case. The first will have basic information, date, time, report numbers. The second message sent to callers will have information for the detective assigned to the case. And the third, final message will be sent when an arrest is made in the case and will also share info on victim resources. Now, in order for this system to work, it's important that people give up-to-date phone numbers and email addresses to police. And then after that, they can make the decision on whether they want those messages to come in via text or email. In Washington, I'm Lex Juarez, D.C. News Now.
Lex, thank you. Fairfax County releasing new information about Virginia's funding in K-12 schools. That study found that school divisions in Virginia are largely underfunded. The Joint Legislative Audit and Review Commission says it found current standards for the school deeply underestimates the actual cost of public education. Data shows that over the last 10 years, funding per student in special education decreased by 16%. They note that Virginia uses a staff-based funding model, which looks at ratios of staff to students rather than funding per student. Well, in Fairfax County, specifically 86% of the school budget is allocated for instruction. A recent report on financial support in 2022 found the schools received just over $3,000 per student in state aid. The state average per student is nearly $5,000, and for fiscal year 2023, the estimated cost per Fairfax County student is nearly $19,000. Well, a troubling trend of student overdoses in Loudoun County has the school system and its leader under fire. The superintendent now offering a timeline of what happened, and he is responding to the governor's criticism. Northern Virginia reporter Max Marcilla is at the Loudoun County School headquarters.
We're going to learn from this moment.
Loudoun County Schools is back in the headlines, this time with a new superintendent as it gets set to welcome an entirely new school board. Here's what happened. On Halloween, the Loudoun County Sheriff announced that 7 Parkview High School students had overdosed on opioids in 3 weeks, and immediately criticism over why the school district had not informed parents earlier.
That's one of the biggest concerns that the community had.
The Loudoun County School Board didn't decide it was important enough to tell parents.
Governor Glenn Youngkin campaigned on the issue, which was revealed just days before a critical election, and he issued an executive order requiring schools to tell parents of school-related overdoses.
When we have that guidance, we'll be able to have a clearer conversation about exactly what we'll do every time a student overdose occurs.
Spence tells the school board the district does notify parents of all medical emergencies at schools, but does not detail the emergency.
I wasn't familiar during any of my previous superintendencies and in conversations with my colleagues of anybody who has made that a practice, again, I think largely because of concerns about student privacy.
Tonight, community members pushing for solutions.
We must create and fund alternative placement options for students in drug crisis.
Spence says his messages won't matter because of years of broken trust in this community, but adds,
we're doing the best that we know how with the information that we have.
And that was Max Marcilla reporting. Well, we're just a little over a week until Thanksgiving, and preparation is underway for the Transportation Security Administration. TSA expects to screen more than 30 million people as the holiday season kicks off this Friday, and they're also reminding travelers to pack smart, bring acceptable ID, arrive early, and if you plan to bring your family's favorite food item, you might want to pack it.
We have a fun rule here at TSA to help you remember this. If you can spill it, spray it, spread it, pump it, or pour it, it's a liquid or it's an aerosol, and it should go in your checked baggage.
Well, TSA says that the busiest travel days are Tuesday and Wednesday leading up to Turkey Day, and then the Sunday after. Well, there's outrage in Prince George's County when the varsity football team's season comes to an abrupt end. just before the team's playoff game on Friday. They're told that they had an ineligible player. DC News Now's Jean-Marie Sissay is in Prince George's County and looks into what parents at C.H. Flowers High School are saying about the controversy.
Let's play now! Let's play now!
To penalize our entire football team is disheartening. It's disheartening.
That's how Nikisha Fowler felt when she learned her son, a senior football player at Charles Herbert Flowers High School, won't be able to play anymore.
This is their senior year. They wanted to go out with a bang. This was an opportunity for our boys to get some college looks and college offers.
The varsity football team was disqualified right before their playoff game on Friday for allegedly having an ineligible player, and the decision hasn't been easy for the team or their parent.
As much as the parents can try to keep this from our kids, when they're constantly saying, any word yet? Any word yet? Is it done? Are we going to play? And have to constantly come back with, we don't know, we're still fighting. It's a roller coaster ride.
The ineligible player is accused of playing on the team for a 5th season, but parents believe this was a mishap.
We definitely believe that this was an oversight because we have had situations in the past where our coaching staff had to comply, and they did. So they would have done the same thing here had they been aware of what was going on.
Fowler says it's not fair for the entire team to be punished.
We understand, again, that there are rules and regulations, but could you consider that we have 60 kids that are not a part of this mistake, this mishap? We're here fighting for every county resident, every county student, every county athlete to say, hey, if something happens, yes, we know that there's due process, but consider our youth.
Reporting for DC News Now, I'm Jean-Marie Sissay.